Hello, hello, everyone. It's solstice time. So happy you're here with us today for the worldwide ritual. I see people are already jumping on. Opie, are you there?
I'm here.
Sound check. All right.
Okay.
We are just going to give people a chance to come in and join us. I know some of you already have, and we've got our... Yep, got to mute that Facebook. Oops.
Yep, I think that's yours. So always a little technical fun.
All right. So just doing a little audio engineering. I've got my Aries husband, Corey, working the camera, and baby Lux, the dachshund here. His birthday is next week. Little solstice puppy. So here's hoping he doesn't start barking. He wasn't feeling too well today, so we brought him with us. And let's be honest, it's almost cancer season. We're a little codependent with our dogs around here. So yeah, Ophi, do you want to say a little something about the solstice before we get the ritual started?
Absolutely. So, and hi everybody from all over the world.
Do we have you there, Ophi? Here, let's go back to Live and make sure she's hooked up. Yep. Sorry, everyone. Just always takes a minute to get all the technical stuff working. Looks like Ophi is
weird. I am here.
Yeah, Ophi, we can't hear you.
Weird.
Maybe we can. Hold on a second, actually. Right. We'll be right back, guys. Be right back.
We had it all tested. Strange. Okay. Someone said it's good. You got, okay.
Stuff working. Oh, there we go. Like Ophi.
Yeah, okay. It is the first day of Mercury.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, we muted my computer.
They said so.
Okay, there we go.
Good.
Back to Ritualville we go. All good, everyone.
This is what happens when twins live on opposite coasts, you know?
Okay. So go ahead, Ophi. I haven't heard what you've said for the last couple minutes, but
mostly it was, can you hear me? But hi, everyone. I was wondering why we were talking over each other. So awesome to be here. I was saying, of course, a Cancer puppy would have to come for, help us usher in Cancer season and the solstice. So yes, Tali is our ritual twin. So she's got the whole setup there that she's going to show you how to do. But first I wanted to tell you a little bit about solstice and what it is. Some of you guys know it, some of you guys celebrate it, but the solstice, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere here is when the sun reaches its highest point in the sky. So the word solstice actually comes from two words, sol sistere, or it looks like soul sister to me when I read it, which I like for Cancer season, but it actually translates to sun stands still, because for a couple of days when the sun is just, at the top point where it's about to, start the southern journey, it appears from our vantage point on Earth to be standing still. Of course it doesn't, but that's where the name comes from. And it's the longest day of light here. Those of you down under, it's your shortest. It's the beginning of winter, but we're celebrating summer. We're sending you guys
some rays. We'll send you some rays.
So it's an interesting time to balance the yin and the yang, because it's the beginning of Cancer season, which rules the yin or the feminine. We're trying to degenderize astrology here, but the Cancer season does rule the feminine forces, and but the sun rules the yang or the masculine. So it's a really nice blend of the two as the sun enters the zone of Cancer and starts summer here. So and it's kind of perfect for this summer's transits, because we're heading into July, where there are going to be two eclipses, which involve the sun and the moon. And there's going to be one in Cancer, a total solar eclipse on July 2nd, and then a lunar eclipse on July 16th. We've been having these Cancer Capricorn themes really for the last couple of weeks. If you felt polarized in your own life between the yin and the yang forces, or the personal and the professional, the private and the public, Mars, which is another quote unquote masculine planet, has been in Cancer. It's there until July 1st. And then we have Saturn and Pluto both in Capricorn, which is that masculine force. So there's a lot of tension, push, pull going on. If you're navigating that in your life, no surprise. Now, some of you guys are starting AstroTwins Summer Camp. So this is also doubling as our official kickoff. And if you don't know what that is, it's our 7-week business and astrology mastermind. It's for anyone who has a business or wants to figure out what their purpose is, how to make a living doing what you love, where should you start, what do you need to do, all levels of entrepreneurship. So you can check that out at astrostyle.com/summer camp if you haven't heard about it yet. But for those of you who are with us, we're so excited to dive in. Today is our first official day of camp, and we thought this was the perfect launch date, the perfect day, because we want to take you to your highest point in your sky, your highest purpose, your biggest self. The sun represents the self, your essence, the fuel you burn. So what better day to do a ritual than this? So we made a solstice wheel. Well, we being Tali, she's the crafty twin, and she's going to show you how to make one. So the actual solstice is tomorrow morning at 11:54 a.m. Eastern time, or Eastern Daylight Time. So this is something you have time to go get the supplies for, or do all day. You might have it, but it involves flowers and candles and crystals here. Tali's going to show you exactly how to do it, and then we're going to guide you through setting some intentions here together already that you can bring to your ritual, because it's so powerful when you're with a group and you do that together, because we're all creating a space and holding a space for each other's intentions to be expressed and manifested here. So over to you, Tali.
Absolutely. Well, welcome summer campers and people interested in summer camp. Oops, I think yeah. And so, no, I was looking at, never mind. Welcome summer campers and people interested in summer camp, or people who are just here for the fun of it. I just wanted to say one more thing. You don't have to have a business to join us in summer camp, or even want to have one. If you're somebody who's maybe you have a band that you want to learn how to promote, or, sell merch for, or maybe you have a project that you're working on that isn't necessarily a money maker, but just something that has a goal and an end point to it. If that's the case, summer camp might be great for you too, because it's really just about sometimes, we have to work a day job and, to pay the bills for our art or what we love too. So, we hope that you'll take a look at it, because it's really going to be an amazing way to spend the summer with us. But let's kick it off with the ritual, what we're going to build here. And I've got a little carried away with my art school self. Actually, I could get a lot more carried away than this if you let me, as we're building what's called a solstice wheel. Okay, so what you need, what I always like to do for a ritual is first to clear the space. And I already did that here in the room. But if you're going to do this again tomorrow, you just want to open up the windows, let some fresh energy in. Some people like to use sage or Palo Santo. Other people think, well, that might be cultural appropriation, so I'm going to do something else. So you can break up the energy by clapping. I have my bell that I ring, this little owl bell. Anything that just kind of, just cuts the energy in the room, and then you have this fresh space to work with. So you're going to need a flat surface. It can be the floor, it can be a tabletop, it could be a tray. And And then at least 10 petals or leaves from a flower, or you can get 10 flowers minimum. Or I like 10 because it's the Wheel of Fortune card in the tarot. It's kind of completion and wholeness of it's like a grouping, you know? So we're at kind of a pivot point, a maximum point. I always think of 10 as that number. So get 10 flowers, 10 leaves, or one flower that has more than 10 petals, and make a circle, okay? So like I did here, and it just has to be something that has been soaking up and growing in the rays of the sun. That is, you know, its essence and its food is the sun. So, you know, like we wouldn't have these beautiful flowers without the sun, obviously. Same thing with leaves. It can be pine cones, whatever, but I think something fresh and green is always better. I've seen this done with lavender or rosemary sprigs. You can mix those all together too. You'll also need a candle for a minute for the middle of your wheel to represent the fire element. So again, make a ring around the candle, and you're going to leave a little space because we're going to put our wishes, our solstice wishes, in here in the ring of flowers. And make sure it's closed up. There's a lot of fast-moving energy during the solstice. It is the maximum yang heat energy. It can be very ungrounding. A lot of people I know have had freakouts over the last week, including myself, about what? So I always like to bring in some earth element as well. So crystals or stones are nice for that. You can place them throughout. I have mine in the 4 directions. You know, you could do it like that. Put some in the middle as well, and then you'll need some petals, at least one petal, if it's just you, but one petal for each person who is part of your ritual, okay? So, and then lastly, a notebook or a piece of paper to jot down what your solstice wish or intention will be. Okay, so we've got our solstice wheel built here. And then I have notes for this because a ritual takes a little something. I have a good memory, but sometimes you have to read things. Okay, so first up, we are going to invite in the sun by lighting our candle, okay? So you can light it, or you can choose somebody in your ritual to light the candle for you. And you want to recite this little invocation to invite in the sun. So, oops, my match just broke. I think I can do it with this little guy. These new matches. Here at Astro Style HQ. Let's start a fire, why don't we? So, yeah, that was good. Ta-da! I know how to light a match, everyone. Second time is a charm. Okay, one more time. Let's pour out this match for our homies who aren't here. Sometimes the spirits like to show themselves that way. Ta-da, here we go. It's funny, I got this matchbook for my aunt, Lady Dandelion, so I guess she's here. Hi, Oon. All right, so let's recite the invocation as we invite in the sun, okay? With this flame, I invite in the energy of the life-giving light of the sun. On this longest day of light, I ask the sun to illuminate new possibilities for my life and for my loved ones. I ask the sun to show me what is next along my path. Oh, yeah, we'll have this available for everybody afterwards, so you can have the instructions for the ritual.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the sun shining on in now. We've invited that in. So now the first thing I want you to do is to take a minute to think about the brightest area of your life. What's the brightest area of your life right now? An area that's really, really working well. It can be something as small as, like, I love the way my bedroom is decorated and I sleep so well at night. Or, you know, I've really got my schedule managed. I love my yoga practice. Or it can be something huge like, I found the love of my life and I'm so excited about what we're going to create together. So sometimes when you do a ritual, we think, oh, I have to manifest something or improve something or, and we forget to actually focus on what's already working. The thing is, I like to begin with that bright focus and bring in some gratitude for that. Gratitude makes you magnetic. Gratitude says to the universe, thank you, sir, may I have another? I would like more of that, please. So let's take a minute to really focus on that. What is it? What do you feel? Get that feeling in your bones of when, you're experiencing this bright area of life. And I want you to kind of hold on to that during the ritual, okay?
And after you think of it, if you feel inspired to share in the comments that
yeah,
please do.
Please do.
We can all, sometimes seeing what someone else is grateful for triggers the reminder for you. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what the bright areas of your life are.
You don't have to interrupt. We're doing this together. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. If you're in the flow of the ritual in a meditative state, you don't have to interrupt to write anything. But if you're one of our many multitaskers, like the Geminis out there, who can type and manifest simultaneously, by all means do. Okay, so let's all take just maybe 10 seconds to just kind of close your eyes and just sit in that bright feeling, okay? Let's just do that together now. All right. Got that there? Okay. Next page. Okay.
People are saying they're maybe share a couple.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. What are those bright areas? Let's hear them. Want to read them, Ophir?
That she's, and I'm doing this not to embarrass you, but to elevate and amplify what your gratitude is. So it ripples out to everyone who might be watching the replay or just sitting there thinking for themselves. So Karen is grateful that she stepped into a true belief that I am enough and do enough every single day. That's a hard one. So good for you. Maureen is grateful for the courage to get online. Yeah. Reverence for my children. So Emily for health and fitness. Liza for a loving home, supportive partner, and the ability to be loving and present for my son. That's great. I think it was you who said you're going to be doing camp, not live with us because of your son having the summer off. So, and Tracy loves her pups, fresh flowers, cooking for friends and family, my soulmate and career. So grateful. Thank you. That's awesome. Keep them coming. All right.
Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful that I get to have a job that lets me put flowers in a circle and talk to amazing people around the world. So definitely one of the most brilliant spots in my life. Yep.
I'm grateful.
And I get to work with my sister, and my husband, and my dog. So
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt my own twin sister's gratitude there.
What were you going to say?
I'm grateful for my amazing friends, family, pets, loved ones, and for you guys, just for the affirmation from the universe that we're doing something good because of the people like you guys who have shown up. Just
absolutely,
people who've come into the summer camp Facebook group in the last 24 hours. Just so amazing, and we're grateful to be spending this time with you. So
absolutely. All right, so let's make our solstice wish now. Now I want you to think of an area of life that could really use some of that brilliance that you're just feeling, it's lacking illumination. Maybe you have a big question about it. Maybe you're wondering what's next. Maybe you are feeling like you're groping around in the dark. Something about it just isn't flowing, isn't working. And it's not an area of life that you're content to just like, I will deal with that later and set it aside. It's an important enough area of life that you want some illumination now. And it's important to you that this summer, that you make a shift this summer around that. Okay, so let's just all take a minute to really kind of think of that. I mean, you may have more than one area, but think of if you could just pick one, what would it be? What's that big one that, you would, if you could have a shift by the end of the summer? And feel free to type that into the comments if you feel so bold. For me, I know it's figuring out a scalable product for Astro Style, something that while it's so fun to do things that, are interactive, and we love writing horoscopes, it would be awesome to have one thing that we could just do once and it could be used over and over again, as opposed to like trying to add another hour into what's already a 25-hour day. So I would love some illumination on what would be that product, that thing that would be so useful to our readers and our audience and fun to create, and an ongoing source of revenue so that we can keep on working our dream job, which we have no intention of quitting, but you know what I'm saying.
No.
Anyways, so what is that thing for you? You want to kind of capture that in your mind, and we're going to turn that into your summer solstice wish. Okay, in a minute, you're going to write that down. Not quite yet. First, I'm going to have you close your eyes. We're going to do a little visualization, okay? So everybody close your eyes and imagine, just get this area of life into your mind. Imagine it's the end of the summer, and don't worry about the how. You figure out how, you found the answer, you found that illumination, and that bright, flowing, sunny energy is coursing throughout this part of your world. Where would you be? Picture yourself. Where would you be living? What would you be wearing? Who would be there with you? Who would you be working with or partnering with? What would you have more time for during your days, or how would you be spending your time? So just as much of that as you can imagine. Would you be feeling relieved? Would you be feeling passionate? Would you be feeling excited? What would that feeling that you would have be if this were all working out? Okay, so just, you kind of want to get that. You don't have to figure out the how or anything like that, but just kind of capture a little bit of that essence, okay? And you can open your eyes now, and you can take a piece of paper or your notebook or your notebook app for your phone, and we're going to turn this into your solstice wish, okay? So you're going to write it in wish form. I always recommend wishes or intentions, whatever you like to call them, that you be as specific as possible. And it could be couple examples. I wish to create pleasure and romance in my relationship this summer. I wish to find the perfect apartment to live in for the next 2 years. I wish to be guided to the next phase of my career. I wish to be creatively unblocked so I can write the next chapter of my novel. Or I wish to attract an investor for my company. I wish to attract angel funding for my business. I wish to meet the love of my life. And, start dating before the summer is through. So the more specific you can get, the better. Now, you don't have to go crazy and, try to custom order everything, like dial a mattress from the universe, but just put in a few extra details besides, I wish to find love, because then it could be like a pet, So if that's the kind of love you want, great, the universe will send it to you. But if it's more than a pet, then get clear about that. Okay, so take a minute to write your solstice wish, or type it into the.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great ones typed in.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, if you want to read some of those in a minute while people are writing, it would be great to hear them.
Just to think, but we have my love life, figuring out how to make money doing what I love. What to do with my life after healing from illness. That one really makes me think just why it's so important to have that purpose, that next thing. it's a fine line. You want to be present in the moment, but you also need a purpose, because without a purpose or a focal point that really calls to your soul and lights you up on the inside, you're kind of like a balloon with the air let out of it. We have to create our own futures, or co-create our futures with the stars. That's what's so powerful about knowing what's happening in the stars, and following the transits in astrology, is that you can map your desires to the current timing of the stars. And it's a beautiful tool for helping you do that. So we're so excited to do that with you guys in summer camp too. So someone says they'd like direction and clarity with career and purpose, figuring out their business, launching businesses.
And, I recommend adding in by when. I would say by the end of the summer, if that's realistic, or by the middle of July, or by my birthday on August 18th, Don't be afraid to put a timeline on it too. Also, I would avoid words like more, like I want more romance. No, you just want romance. Bring it on, baby, So think about, and you could even say like with this kind of person, or I would like to get clarity about what's next for me before I leave for my trip to Italy or something. So whatever it is for you, again, write it down on that piece of paper. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that piece of paper. I don't have one, but I'm going to have a pretend one. I'm folding it up. And then you're going to place your wish in the middle of your solstice wheel, okay? Put it here, and you're going to just set it down there. And then what you're going to do, you can put a crystal on top of it if you want. I always like to do that. And then that's where our flower petals come in handy. So take one of the flower petals that you've set aside, and then you're going to blow your wish into the flower petal, okay? So close your eyes and get your solstice wish in your mind, okay? And then blow it into the petal. And then the petal also goes in your solstice wheel. So everybody who's with you doing the ritual can do this together, and then your wishes all sit together, okay? Now, leave them inside the solstice wheel for 24 hours until the solstice is over, okay? So, and then sometime this weekend, what you want to do is take your petal, okay? You take it out into nature somewhere that feels special and meaningful to you. It could be your own garden, and you're going to release the petal into the universe, okay? You're going to release it into the air, release it back to source, to nature, to the sun, as an act of faith that your wish has been heard and that it will be delivered to you at the perfect time, in the perfect way, in the most divine moment possible. Now, if you want, you can hang on to your wish, or some people like to burn their wishes as a way to kind of release it, it's an act of faith, and that's the way setting intentions can work sometimes. Now, when you're doing a vision board, if you're somebody who forgets what you want, a vision board is a great reminder to just have up, oh yes, this is what I want to manifest. But there's also something to be said for releasing your wish and trusting that it will come to you. Now, it may or may not come to you as in this custom ordered way that you wrote it down. The universe may have a better plan, This is a mysterious place, a mysterious plane that we live on. But when you put, an intention out there, it's always heard. And that's where, you sometimes just have to let go of the attachment, because when we become attached, we also can kind of choke out, like, how it is when you go on an amazing first date, and then you're like, oh my God, I really, really, really want them to call me again. And all of a sudden it turns into this whole other thing where you've lost perspective, projected your father issues onto them, planned a wedding and canceled the registry, and it's only been 24 hours. So releasing attachment is a powerful act. And that's why you're letting your petal go out into the wind. So, and burning your wish list if you want. Now, if your group is dispersing before the solstice, they can take their petals and their wishes with them tomorrow, but they should put them in a sunny spot, like a sunny windowsill, until Saturday or Sunday when they decide to do their release ceremonies. So there you have it. Our solstice wheel ritual. Maybe you already did this along with us, and if so, brava. And I hope you'll find some flowers and leaves and set something beautiful up for yourselves. And by all means, share them with us. You can tag us here on Facebook or on our Instagram feed at AstroTwins and show us your solstice wheels. We would love to see what you come up with. We have so many creative people in this group that I already know. I'm sure you'll come up with something beautiful. You could extend these flowers out as far and wide as you want. So yeah,
and we're going to put this post up on our website as well for you to watch. People are asking about directions and rewatching. So nice work there, Corey. Nice camera work. Close up. Ooh. Yeah, Tally's much better at stuff than I am. I love it. And Mary, you did the.
I'm here, but I think
we had an interruption. Okay, sorry about that. It really is beautiful, great colors, and so you just went to the flower stand and got different flowers and took them off the stems, right, Tally?
Yeah, literally. Well, some of them are from the garden. A couple. Some of them are from
a garden like
neighborhood, and some of them are from the Safeway grocery store that has like shockingly good flowers, especially roses. So you can take some, if you don't have a flower budget, just go grab some leaves. I did this once with a prayer plant that I have in my house, and it has these you never realize how elaborate and interesting leaves can be until you kind of look at them individually like that. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Tracy says, which crystals or flowers do you suggest?
It's really up to you. I think you should use your intuition, but I did some Gerber daisies. These are gladiolas. Carnations, the cheapest flowers out there. They actually look good. I mean, they just have that paper flower cool. When you take them off the stem, they take on they're not just your daddy's boutonniere, your prom date's boutonniere. They take on a new meaning. Roses are always good because they'll give you lots of petals. So if you have a big group, you might want to get a bunch of roses. And what's really fun is if you're doing this with a group, have everybody bring a bouquet of flowers. These are some poppies up front that were growing outside of the office, and some lavender. It grows like a weed in Seattle, so it was easy to find. As far as crystals go, I like to leave that up to you. We do have a crystal section. This is my Rainbow Aura quartz, which I enjoy because it has that, all the possibilities. This is fairy quartz. I tend to like, I have some amethyst for love, and I tend to be drawn to very sparkly, crystals. I have a lot of quartz. I have a little phantom quartz here. And I do have some tourmaline to ground the energy. So it depends on if you're feeling like sort of out of your mind with all this solar energy, definitely some black tourmaline or onyx is really good for just grounding you in the moment. So you can mix it up. You probably are
check our crystal horoscopes section on the site. If Jess, if you can find the link, or Chartreuse who writes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a Chartreuse who's one of our camp counselors, astrology experts, who's going to be a TA in summer camp, writes our crystal horoscope. So and she's matched crystals for every zodiac sign. So you may want to go try out the crystal that matches your sign too. And most crystal shops will
sign with a solstice.
Your sun sign, yeah. So it's kind of perfect. But most crystal shops will tell you what the properties of every crystal are. You can even find that online. So maybe find one that works with your intentions too. So, but I see people are already giving great advice in the comments. No surprise, we have crystal lovers here. So Barry says, I need to lighten up. Any chance Spanish moss does anything? You're bringing some back from the South today. I mean, I feel like
you should really use your intuition with that. You know what? If that's what calls to you, I mean, I think of moss as kind of a damp water element,
it's not really light. It's kind of heavier, but it could be.
Well, I guess it depends, actually. Some moss can be very airy and light. So forgive me. I'm thinking of the kind of moss that grows on the rocks here, but I've seen like really beautiful. I don't know what Spanish moss looks like off the top of my head, but if you're coming from the South, if you want some lightness, definitely bring some airy plants in, things that are, you could. I actually think, tell us, never mind. I'm not going to play amateur botanist. Go for it. I would say go for it.
I would say this, Barry. Beauty is an engine for your desires. And that's actually what we talk about in the first week of summer camp. Those of you who have joined our first week lesson, which is, we're going to, do it over the first couple weeks as people join in, but we put a lesson up for you guys, camp activity, this week. And it's about setting up your space. And we have a little PDF, a feng shui scavenger hunt for you to figure out what's in the different zones of your workspace, if you're setting it up, what to put in them. So just to make it fun, but also activate things. So if you find, we talk about how beauty, letting yourself be surrounded by beauty and seeing it as something you deserve, to be around you. So many of the people that are drawn to astrology and healing are givers, but we don't give to ourselves. We deny ourselves a space. We put ourselves like next to the washing machine or in some corner, or we, I don't want to, well, my kids need a play area, or my partner needs this, or I can't, And then, we expect ourselves to be inspired in some crappy, unadorned space. So,
Barry, we know how well that doesn't work.
He's gorgeous, and it makes all the trees look like oil paintings draping over all of the roads. I know what you're talking about. Well, then you should absolutely use it in your.
I wish I had some for my solstice wheel.
Please take a picture and post it here after you do, because it sounds gorgeous. And maybe and I don't know if you're from the South or if you were just visiting, but if you are, that's also like infusing some of your roots into this wheel. So what happens when you start to do this is your intuition starts to kick in, and being in the space of beauty is one of your access points to the divine. So you will start to draw down intuition as being creative is like being like the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it. So once you start to activate that, don't worry, it's all going to flow through you. And which is great. So Maria says she's already filling out the PDF from her for her fame and reputation area. So
cool. Yeah, let's talk a bit about summer camp, because I know there's some people who are still considering it and maybe have some about it, so you can feel free to send those. But summer camp has officially begun. How long do people have before we close registration for camp, Ophi?
Well, till tonight at midnight Eastern, so about 8 more hours. So get on in there. Don't sleep on the summer camp, because It is underway, and
So
it's
we have a private Facebook group for that. So you'll be invited into that. We know everyone who's watching today on Facebook has that. But if someone watches the playback on our website and you don't have Facebook, that's okay, because we will be downloading all the weekly videos, Monday motivations, and putting them in a student portal so you can just watch them right there. You don't need to be on Facebook unless you want to participate in the live aspect of it. So there will be a Monday motivation. We've got the themes around. We've made fun little summer camp themes that align with the with the planetary trends. And the summer is going to be a doozy, in some ways. We're going to make sure that it's a good kind of doozy, that we're going to harness that energy and really have it work for you. We've got 2 eclipses coming up. On July 2nd, a solar eclipse in Cancer. On July 16th, a lunar full moon eclipse in Capricorn. So that's going to bring up a lot of emotional energy and also a very strong drive to do something heart-centered and meaningful. Mars, the planet of drive and motivation, moves into Leo for all of summer camp, starting July 1st, basically. Not for most of it. Mars is finishing up its tour of Cancer. We have a lot of Cancer and Leo energy. Mercury, sorry to report, will be turning retrograde on July 7th, backing up until the 19th through Leo, and then spending the remainder of its backspin from the 19th to the 31st in Cancer. So Mercury retrograde, yeah, that's a great time to actually plunge in and examine your project, your business, your ideas. Mercury rules our mental processes, the information that we share, the data, transfer of data. How are we doing that? How does that, like a chance to re-examine that? Are you getting your message across? Are people, understanding what your idea is about, or could you sharpen that? We'll be working on, the best ways to kind of present your ideas to the world. And one of the things I'm most excited about that we're doing are astro audits. We just did this with our last Astropreneur group, who are part of Marie Forleo's B School. So 4 people at least are going to get picked. And if you have a business or a project that you can submit it for to be one of the selections. So we're going to take 4 people's businesses and we're going to do your chart, look at all your branding, your social media, your materials, and we've developed this system for attuning it to make sure that, we'll actually give you our 18 plus years of experience building a brand, doing everything from the design to the marketing to the writing to the PR, and working with experts. And we will do a live audit. And even if you don't get picked, you'll learn the system so you can do your own astro audit for your idea. And we've made it like simple, and so that you can actually okay, I get it now. We had so many light bulbs go off for people in the last group. It was really an amazing experience to watch the inspiration flowing. For overall, if I was to distill why we're doing this, it's because we want to get you into what we call the zone of miracles. How we want to get ourselves there. So most of us live life in our comfort zones. Nothing wrong with that. If you were part of our Astrology of Success webinar, you've already been talking about that with us. We were talking about the South Node as the zone of comfort, but there's other things in your chart that will also get you there, get you stuck there. It's a lovely place to be, but miracles do not happen there. You get more of the same, and maybe that's okay. But we need to shake it up. If you're someone who wants to shake it up and just have some unprecedented results, have some shifts, see new exciting things that maybe you couldn't even predict yourself, summer camp is devoted to getting us all into the zone of miracles. Maybe that light bulb will go off and you'll figure out that product you want to develop, who is your customer that you really want to focus on? What do you want to do besides this 9-to-5 job that seems like you'll never get out of? Okay, so we are, and the zone of miracles, it seems like, oh, that'll be amazing. I'd love to be there. guess what? It's one of the scariest places. The comfort zone maybe should be the scary place because it's like, I'm on the hamster wheel. But the zone of miracles is actually scarier because it's unpredictable. It involves risk. Fears come up. It calls you. It calls you to be a bigger version of yourself than maybe your own mind can comprehend. I'm not that kind of person. I couldn't be that way. Who do I think I am? So when those conversations come up, you need community, you need coaches, you need people who are going to say, yes, you are that kind of person. I need people to do that for me. I just got a new car, and it's an awesome convertible. It happens to have a little race car engine in it too. And it was used, but in great shape. And it was actually the same amount of monthly payments as I'm paying for the quote unquote mom car that I'm driving now. Nothing wrong with the mom car, but I'm not a mom. So, and I almost freaked out and returned the thing. But I had, it was like my zone of miracles. I can't have something so nice. That's just a small example, of course. But again, if people didn't talk me down from the tree, I probably, would have gone and got a car that I didn't love and paid the same amount every month. So this is the comfort zone. I'm comfortable with that. Don't stand out too much. So these are the things that we're going to be working on through the fun format of summer camp. Even if you just listen, you don't have to do anything. We have worksheets for our binder junkies like Maria out there, who we love for that,
Printed out. A lot of you guys everything is going to be printable because we have learned from talking to you guys that a lot of you like to, you're on the go. You'll either like to look on your tablet or print a PDF. So you're going to be getting PDFs that you can take. Sometimes you only have a couple minutes and you can only look at one thing and while you're in between appointments or whatever. And while of course we advocate making your dreams a priority, we also know what reality feels like and looks like. So I love what people are saying already. So Karen said she joined and manifested the money yesterday in order to do it and got a booking that totaled $111, which was
no way.
Yeah. And it happened within minutes of saying she was going to do it. So, if you're not sure how you're going to do it, just tell the universe, I don't know how, but I'm willing to be shown. If you're one of those people, Mario is saying, I hope I'm saying your name right. Just downloaded the first PDFs and I'm ready and excited to begin making the best of the summer with Mercury retrograde with you guys. Ha ha. Exactly. You are. We planned this for the Mercury retrograde portion of summer on purpose because we
were born during Mercury retrograde and we are writers. So, we learned how to make it work for us. So in our lives, so we'll make sure everyone, Mercury retrograde is when all of our contracts always come in. It's almost like a joke, but life doesn't stop because Mercury goes retrograde. And so we're going to tap into making the most of that with you for sure. Yeah.
And Sarah Connolly was one of our Astro audits. She owns Odyssey Boutique, which is lingerie and fitting. And we had such a great Astro audit with her, and she's saying that she's using the feng shui scavenger hunt to set up her new space, which I can't wait to hear about, Sarah, because in our last program, we did an Astro audit of her and she was moving out of her space and it helped confirm that a pop-up shop was the right move for her. She was, if you don't mind me telling your story, Sarah, she was really unsure about whether to give up a space that was going to become very expensive for her to conduct her amazing business. And out of the clarity of the Astro audits, which as you watch us do them for the people picked, you'll learn how to do it for yourself. Out of that clarity, the right answer really revealed itself. And then, as when you're clear and aligned, the universe shows up in tangible form with something. So Great. I mean, I'm hoping that happens to all of you guys. So I love it, Maria. Thank you. She's traveling in Europe with 2 kids and doing this as her Capricorn summer project. And she's saying,
Yeah,
I know
we know
it's
some
like
of you don't have time to fully do a bunch of worksheets or things like that. So even if you just listen
yeah,
into the conversation, we're going to be doing some bonus podcasts with some experts, from a sparkle coach to a tarot. A chakra healer to
we're also bringing in some of our experts. We have our publicist, Carol, is going to be a guest and telling you about PR, how to get PR going for yourself, when to hire a publicist, because some of you are at the phase of like, should I or shouldn't I? And we know that it's an investment. And when you're launching a business or growing one, you have to be very mindful about how you use your resources. And so she's going to tell you that. We're going to have one of our journalist friends come on to talk about how to properly pitch a reporter. She gets pitches all the time. Our email marketing pro is going to come on and tell you how to build your list, whether you have 5 people or 500 people. Very practical advice that's aligned with the week's transits and also the spiritual, like Tali said. We have someone who's a Kundalini expert and also a very successful businesswoman and one of our mentors. And she and I are going to talk about the Kundalini of money. Which chakra are you blocked? If you're blocked in your heart chakra.
She's a professor, right, at a business school professor and a chakra expert, you know.
Because that's how we roll. That's how we roll. We're hybrids here these days. It's not either or. So you got to have hard business skills, even in the soft healing professions or service professions. And you have to bring that softness to business these days, because with the internet, people expect a personal touch. They expect to be spoken to like human beings, because they've got a million other choices being offered to them at any given time, just a Google search away, and they can pop off and go elsewhere. So why should they pick you? What is it about you? And that's about bringing your light and your value and your desire to give and heal and make a difference, to bring that out and show you how to express that in the way that matches your chart. We've created a whole system that's in the first week of summer camp. Chart your chart, where you're going to turn your astrology chart into a spreadsheet that you can reference, because we're teaching you how to read that wheel. But let's be honest, it's hard sometimes to remember all the little symbols. So we're also turning your chart into a spreadsheet that you can reference quickly, know where all your planets are, and find out your main archetype. Are you meant to be an influencer and doing sort of VIP offerings? Are you meant to be an expert who's developing maybe coaching or classes, or very sort of singular offerings?
And
or
you're
a messenger, a public speaker? Should you be spending your limited time on Instagram, or should you be spending it, meeting people for live sessions or one-on-one coaching? And through your chart, you can actually start to see how you should brand yourself, even down to the colors and fonts and everything.
Which we're going to talk about one week when we talk about branding. So the chart, some of you, we have some real astro pros in the group, but we also have people who are novices, and that's fine. You can enter at any level. But what the chart is, in case you don't know, is a map of where all the planets were at your exact moment of birth. So I always like to say, those science class diagrams of the planets doing their orbits around the sun. So imagine that they're all kind of moving at different speeds. We freeze frame them in that circle at your exact time of birth, and then we divide that circle into 12 like a clock. So wherever they fall, each of those segments of the clock is associated with one of the 12 zodiac signs. The only difference is that the Earth is at the center. We're a geocentric system, so it's as if you're lying on your back and watching the planets and the sun and the moon all go around us. Now we know that's not how it works, but that's in science, and the sun is the center of our solar system, but the earth is the center of the astrology universe, and you get to be the center of the world with your astrological chart. It is all about you, and only someone born the same minute in the same time zone as you will share your chart. Even us as twins, we're 4 minutes apart. I'm older. Ophi pushed me out, made me do all the hard work, So now I make her do more in this lifetime. It's only fair. Yeah. So
she's just picking flowers. No.
Yeah, you make the forms up in Canva. Why don't you go? So no, we have a slightly tiny bit different chart. Our rising sign is a degree off, but that can make a difference. So anyways, Mercury may be in a different sign than your sun. The sign that you know when you read your horoscope is your sun sign. You also have a moon sign, that's the inner you, a Venus sign, which is your design sensibilities, your fashion sensibilities, what you'll spend money on, romance, Mars, what motivates and drives you, a north and south nodes, which are your soul path. So, we are going to teach you about those. So if you're somebody who only knows a little bit about astrology, this can be really illuminating. If you're someone who knows a lot about astrology, it's going to be fun to just be in this conversation where how often do you get to, besides with your woo friends, talk about your career path and totally keep referencing astrology? That's how we live. That's what we love to do. And that's why we're so excited about this. So come on, join camp if it's calling to you, astrostyle.com/summer camp. And does anyone have any, final solstice wishes that they want to share before we leave you to go out and bask in these ever-growing beams of light here from the center of our universe, the real one? Are there any wishes, Ophi, that you want to read, or any questions?
Yeah,
at all? Yeah.
I have been following everybody and answering. So, most people's questions have been answered in chat, but let's see. I'm going to look for a couple more inspirational ones if I can get. We have such an active thread here that I'm like, I can't even get back up to the comments that I want to get
awesome.
to. But, it's just, it looks like people are really excited to be working on, taking new paradigms like healing and that kind of, bringing them into the world. Really, looking at summer as this time to sit down and work on things. And again, Charlie said, this is not meant to be work. We called it camp because it's supposed to be fun. Will there be things you can work on and geek out on? Absolutely. But they're all designed not to just give you work that you're going to be like, oh, why did I do this? I'm overwhelmed. But to really make it fun and give you a focal point for the week that's like, oh, wow, I just had this, I did this thing for 5 minutes. I had all these insights and epiphanies. And really most of it is the interaction. You could almost treat this like a talk show or a podcast that you listen to. If you wanted to just do that and yeah. So, or take
and the thing is,
worksheets to the pool or the beach with you one day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you said the word healing. I just wanted to backtrack to that. That's something, if you're still kind of thinking about your solstice wishes, or if you're leading a solstice circle tomorrow, another thing you could say is what's an area of life that needs healing? There's nothing more healing for me personally than the sun. It floods you with vitamin D, which has a positive effect on your thyroid, your mood. I've been spending a bit of time in the sun, and I have to say, we look pretty damn tan right now, but I just haven't even noticed. It's not. I've just been walking more and sitting in my backyard, and just my mood has gone up because of it. So the sun is also a healing agent for you. We're not talking about getting sunspots or, don't forget to wear the sunscreen. It is a lot. Your crystals are kind of the sunscreen of your solstice wheel, it's a lot. But, what's an area of life that could use more vitality? Maybe it's something that just, it's working, but you just want to feel more passionately engaged, or you're feeling low energy around. You want to bring more energy to. So, well, we hope this has been, an illuminating experience for you. And thanks for joining us from all around the world. Thanks for being part of this experience with us today. We are so grateful for everybody who's here and everyone who reads our horoscopes. Shower of gratitude, because without you guys, we wouldn't get to work our dream job together like this. So thank you so much.
By helping you get to work yours. So
exactly. Come on and join us in summer camp, astrostyle.com/summer camp. And send us pictures, tag us.
Please. I want to see that Spanish moss berry. So
yeah, we want to see that Spanish moss. Ophi, is there anything else you want to say to close out?
No, just this is the moment to capture that solar power. Be your own solar panel and give yourself a nice boost of energy. So Debbie, hi. So Christine says, how do we join camp? The link is astrostyle.com/summer camp. I'll post it again one more time in the comments. And yes, we would love any of and all of you there with us. Already the group is amazingly lit up with energy and inspiration and excitement. So come be part of that momentum and catalyze your dreams, and just, happy solstice to all.
Happy solstice, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.